Hello, welcome to another edition of Athletes Corner. And today we got a special guest, my man Marc. We finally got him in the building. We've been trying for like a year, but he's finally here, man.
Yes,
What's
sir.
going on, man?
What up? You know what it is.
Yeah, man. So, man, how you doing, man? How's everything with you? How's life treating you right now?
Life's good. Finishing up my sophomore year at Amherst. I was just on campus working a job, healing from my injury, lifting, trying to get back into basketball. And I'm spending my last month here back home, so everything's good.
Yeah, right, man. It's like the journey's still going on basketball-wise, but, just this whole journey for you, right? How's just that been, as you got older and better in basketball and like the people you've met in some of the places it's been taking you early on?
Yeah, no, basketball's definitely been a blessing in my life. I feel like as a kid, you try to play basketball and just think you got to get to the league, you got to all these things. But as I get older, I realize like basketball has brought me so many places where Lord knows where I would have never been able to get to. Like, for example, my sister went to Nobles, granted, she got to Nobles because of basketball, but without her playing basketball and my basketball ability, who knows if I ever got to Nobles. And going to Nobles opens up your network of meeting people you have never even imagined of meeting.
Right.
And then again, like that takes me to a place like Amherst College, which is it's not Duke University, but it's like people you meet at Amherst College is not regular people that you would meet every day.
Right. It's all them connections and networking, which is great. That's what I love about basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You meet people and like you become like you make some of the closest friends with people. Like if somebody saw you two walking down the street, like they would never thought that you and this person would actually not get along, but be friends just by like visualize, right?
No, for sure.
When did the love of the game start for you?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, from all I can remember, I always had a basketball in my hand. Again, like my brother and sister played throughout their whole life.
Right.
I don't know if it was a love for the game. I just loved sports as a kid. When I was a kid, I played soccer, baseball, and basketball. Yeah. And I think it honestly was just my parents. Like, they weren't going to drive me around to soccer, baseball, and basketball practice. I just had to pick one. I was better at basketball than all three. And so that really started it. I've been playing my whole life. I think, I definitely have a love for basketball, but I think consistent with everything in my life, I just loved competing. And I hated losing. So in my, 6-7-year-old mind, I was like, okay, what sport can I play that gives me the best chance of not losing? And I was the best at basketball. So I just ran with that.
And is it also easier when you have siblings that are playing? So that's where the competitive nature starts from at home, when you got two older siblings that are playing, and then you guys get those backyard battles and stuff.
Oh, man, for sure, it definitely started with that, because especially both of my siblings, they never let me win anything. Like in that backyard, I have memories from age 6, 7, 8, 9, where we're playing 50 in the backyard, and my sister and brother would call travels on me every time I dribbled. Like I can't even shoot the ball. I'm not strong enough to get to the rim. They're calling travels on me. So just like every day playing against my siblings, competing against them has definitely helped me grow my love of the game.
And that's the other thing is too, being the youngest, you get that, you got the little brother treatment, and it's the unfair treatment, right? How does that? Because when you look at the landscape of basketball, when you look at some of like the top players and stuff that are, the girl Rakia Jackson, she was talking about, somebody said she plays like she got 4 older siblings, right? And then she responded by saying that's how she grew up, was like playing against her brothers, and they would beat her up and give them that tough love, but that brought the competitive nature. And, so just speak on that, being the youngest, and like just seeing them and trying to compete and beat them.
Right. No, definitely that. I feel like being the youngest sibling, that's a big thing. But like, especially if we're looking at like my brother, when I was a kid, even seeing him play varsity basketball at St. Mary's, it's like, okay, like, how am I going to play varsity basketball at St. Mary's? So and then also seeing my sister, knowing what she's done. She's went to BC, Vanderbilt, played professional basketball. It's like, okay, like even as a kid, we're playing 50 in the backyard. Okay, I'm not good enough to beat them, so I got to keep working. And now seeing them progress, it's like, okay, if they're going to keep progressing, I have to keep progressing too, trying to keep up with them. So it's always been an uphill climb. To this day, it's still an uphill climb, even though I'm still the only active player. But we still play one-on-one in the gym every day. It's things like that. So
and being young and seeing them because somebody said it the other day, is like the first like hero for kids is like a varsity basketball player. Just being around them and being able to go to their games and also being able to go to practices and watch them work, right? How did that kind of start with your development in your developing your game and watching like those older players when you would go to a practice or to go to a game?
Yeah, I think honestly, shout out to David Brown. He formerly coached at St. Mary's, but I was always at St. Mary's practices with my brothers and with his son David Brown. Like we'd always be in there. He'd always let us practice too. And again, we'd practice and those kids would still beat up on us, like not let us win anything.
Right.
So it's like being around that, seeing, like I feel like at a young age I was always playing against people who were older than me, better than me. So it's like, even though I was good for my age, I never really felt it because I'm always losing to someone who's bigger, stronger, faster than me. So being able to be around that environment, like, for example, Coach Brown letting me practice with the high school guys and just being around that gave me the sense of, like, okay, there's always the next step I need to get to because I'm not there yet, even though I'm 10 years younger than these guys.
Right.
It's just the mindset as a kid, taking that in.
Right. In the city of London, the first, like, competitive, just like its spirit of competitiveness for kids is that Lynn Elementary basketball tournament, right? That's our March Madness. It's like a month-long thing, right? What was your experience with that?
It's actually funny because I didn't go to Lynn public schools. My parents, very grateful for it all. They wanted me to go to Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart School in Lynn.
Sacred.
So I was at Sacred Heart, so I actually didn't get to.
You didn't get to.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I always watched it, was always jealous of the kids.
Right.
But like my little, I guess, tournament in that was like playing St. Mary's or playing an Immaculate Conception. That was way better than Sacred Heart because Sacred Heart, they didn't care about basketball for real. So, but it's like, my little tournament was playing like St. Mary's, was playing Immaculate Conception, OCLA, I forget. But like that was my little Lynn tournament inside the private school area.
Right. And that was still one of those things where that's kind of when you first learn how to, like, take losses or deal with victory and stuff like that at a young age too. Because sometimes I see kids when I go to them, like they're really bawling their eyes out when they lose those games. But it's kind of like this is kind of where it starts.
For sure, I was definitely the kid who was bawling my eyes out after every game, win or loss, and I was losing a lot in middle school. We didn't win a lick of anything, but like still, it's like I think that's part of learning. It's like learning how to lose, knowing that you have the passion that you care about losing. That's a big thing because not saying you need to cry after every loss, but you can tell the difference between a kid who's visibly distraught after they lost versus a kid who don't care. It's like, okay, that kid wants it a little bit more.
Yeah. And as you're getting older now, you're getting a lot more. You get more recognition. But as you said, your parents put you in private schools, and how did that lead to you from going into Nobles?
Yeah. So I was at Sacred Heart, and my brother went to St. Mary's. My sister started at St. Mary's, finished at Nobles. So I was definitely on the Sacred Heart St. Mary's pipeline. But my sister, I don't even know how it ended up happening. She was at St. Mary's. She was obviously killing it her first couple of years, and then she played for I'm pretty sure AAU team, MCW Stars, and
I know
she
that team.
played some out-of-state tournament, and I think one of the Nobles coaches or parents saw her and was like, you should come to Nobles. Like, you're a great basketball player. Your grades are great. Like, this would be a great place for you. Yeah. And that took a bunch of convincing for our parents, but they finally figured that out and sent her to Nobles. And then just being around the Nobles community, because my sister played with a bunch of people. Most thing that comes to mind first is the Ducharmes, like Caroline Ducharme, who's at UConn, Ashley Ducharme, and I'm friends with Reed Ducharme. Yeah. And so when they were playing together, like me and Reed would always be at the games just playing around, and Reed was going to go to Nobles. Right. And so I would ask my parents, like, yo, can I go to Nobles too? And they were like, if we can, and then the money was right, and so then I went to Nobles. Yeah, money was right, and then and that's how I ended up at Nobles. I started in 7th grade. I didn't go in high school. I started in 7th grade.
You started in 7th grade,
and I did 7th grade twice because they usually don't accept 8th graders.
Okay.
And so I did that, and that's how I ended up at Nobles. Yeah,
that's pretty unique experience too, because most times kids will start off at, might start off at a public school or a different private school, and then they'll transfer to a school like Nobles, right? So being there, so you was basically there for 5 years.
Yeah, my whole 7th, 8th, 6 years, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Right. and you're all the way in Dedham, right?
Yeah.
Deep in Dedham.
Yeah.
And I've been on that campus. It's there's a lot of trees on that campus.
Man, whole bunch of them.
But it's kind of also helpful too, because you could focus a lot just
Definitely
on school and basketball, because we live in Lynn, so we got a lot of things we could do.
Whole
we
bunch of distractions.
Play basketball, then we go do something else. We go do something else. Like, but that one is like no distractions. It's like things are far away from each other.
Exactly.
It's like a corner store a mile away and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
How are you able to just hone in on everything in that aspect?
Yeah, I actually think the biggest leaps I've ever taken in my basketball journey was at Nobles. I think 7th grade and 8th grade year was hard for me because I couldn't board there, so I was taking like a 2-hour trip. I don't know how my parents did it.
Driving a commuter rail?
No, I was driving. My parents were driving me, which to this day I don't know how they did it, but 2 hours every day there and back. I actually became really good, close friends with who was then my high school coach, Coach Bryant, Oris Bryant, and I became very good family friends with them. So much of the time I was just staying over their house during the weekdays when my mom was like too tired to get me from work.
Right.
So I think, again, back to the points of my jumps in basketball career, like I'm very grateful and blessed that people around me let me know the opportunity that I did have going to Nobles. So I feel like I did take really good advantage of it. So like once I did reach 9th grade and I started to board, like you can ask Coach Brian over there now, like every day we're in the gym at 6 a.m. before classes. Knowing, because like back home in Lynn, like it's not that easy to get into a gym. Like you might have to get to the Y early before pickleball comes or things of that nature. But me going to Nobles knowing like, oh, the gym is a 3-minute walk from my dorm and they're feeding me and all I got to do is go to class and I can do this every day and no one's going to ever kick me out. So I utilize that every day. Me and Coach Brian were in the gym every day, 6 a.m., before classes, after classes, just maximizing my gym time, knowing how much of a privilege that is that I have a gym to go to anytime I want.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's like you got the full access. So it's like even you can't sleep, go to the gym.
Go to the gym. It's right there.
Get through the... when... Like, what was like that first moment when you played your first varsity game, right? Did you have any nerves? Was there the adjustment? There's always that adjustment period. Everybody says it's the speed that always gets them, right? Was that the same thing for you?
I'll never forget my first varsity moment. I got a 10-second violation. We were playing St. Paul's. I forget his name, but he goes like Indiana now, and they were trapping us. And I got into the corner, the one spot you're not supposed to get to. I tried to get around it, just over dribbling in the backcourt. I got a 10-second violation my first play of varsity basketball. Definitely a wake-up moment for me. But my freshman year is actually interesting because after the first game I played a little bit, I got like spot minutes here and there. But I definitely wasn't – I was good at basketball, but I wasn't ready to like be a real varsity impact player. But then my good friend B-Mac, he was at Nobles. He got injured. And so then I was just thrown into the fire because then after that I had to start my freshman year. And it's not like I was bad at basketball, but clearly freshman, I wasn't supposed to start.
You're young.
But I was thrown into the fire, and I think I made the best of it. I feel like I had a pretty decent season for a freshman year, especially getting thrown into the fire. So, but yeah, that adjustment first year varsity was definitely something.
But that's kind of something like you maximize that opportunity. Injured player, you don't like to see injuries, but you gotta maximize that especially for a young player too. That you, like you said, you was getting spot minutes here and there. You was able to utilize that for them to increase your minutes. When did you kind of realize, okay, this is getting a little bit easier for me now? What was that? Was there a game or was there a moment that you realized that, okay, I got this now?
It was interesting because the freshman year went by. It was interesting because my freshman year went by and I had a pretty mediocre season. And I feel like every time you jump in levels, you realize something that you're not as good as you thought you were at. So for me, after my freshman year, I realized I just wasn't as good as a shooter as I thought I was playing middle school AAU. So after my freshman year, I got in the gym heavy with my coach. I changed my whole jump shot, like started from the scratch, started in front of the basket. But then it was hard because then COVID hit. That COVID hit, and so there wasn't much basketball to be played. But I was still in my backyard, going to whatever courts didn't have
the blocks
on the rims, just trying to get in front of the gym, fixing my jump shot. And I was with my coach again, Coach Bryant. We were trying to fix my jump shot, but then I had surgery on my thumb. It was the start of my sophomore year. I had a good start to my sophomore year, but then before the season, I did something. I was playing pickup, and I think I messed my thumb up, and I had to and basically I tore a ligament in it, but I've always been trained to just play through injury.
Right.
So I just kept playing through it, and then I was playing through my sophomore season with like a limp thumb, so like I couldn't dribble, I couldn't shoot, and then I finally went to the doctors, and they were like, all right, you have to have surgery because like you kept playing on this. But they're like, but since you're already in the middle of your season, and I think surgery was on, I don't remember the exact dates, but surgery was on, let's say, a Thursday. I had a game on Wednesday. And so they're like, well, you've already been playing on it. Like, you might as well just finish this last game before surgery.
Right.
So, like, I don't recommend this at all. Don't, what I'm saying, don't do it. But I think I, like, took like 6 ibuprofen, and so I didn't feel anything in my thumb, and I just went out and I balled, and I think I had like 25 points against like St. Seb's. And before going into surgery, I realized, like, okay, like, I'm pretty good at basketball. Like, the work that I put in this offseason did show, even though my thumb is messed up.
Right.
Okay, I am getting better. And so that was a point where I realized, like, okay, like, I am actually improving with this work that I'm putting in. And then I went through surgery, I went through rehab, whatever. Kept working through that offseason. And then my junior year is when I took that huge jump, where I ended the season averaging 20 points. I was like all NESCAC, things like that. Yeah.
You never realize how like certain injuries to a certain body part could affect everything, because you be like, it's just my thumb. I'll be all right. But you don't realize, like, oh man, I can't grip the ball. I can't do certain things, and it's like this thing right here is just messing everything up. Just one little injury.
Yeah.
That conference you playing in it's also a very competitive conference.
Super competitive.
With a lot of guys. Like you say you're playing with guys that are going to major Power 5 schools, right? Yeah. Who was kind of like that one or two guys that you guys faced off against? You was like, oh man, this dude. And he was like, you wouldn't be surprised if he made the league, but you weren't surprised with what they did in college.
Yeah, no doubt. The one game or people that we played was definitely against St. Seb's, because they had like my junior and senior, they had everyone.
Is that what they had? AJ, Jalen,
AJ. But the thing is,
Trey,
all of them.
Yeah.
They had everyone. So it's like, even against AJ, like 8th grade AJ, he was still a problem, but it's like, you're not worried about that. But it was like him, AJ, Trevor, Jalen Harrell.
Yeah.
I forget his name. He went to Brown. He's really good too. But it's like they had everyone.
Yeah.
So it's like, we're just gonna go into this game, try our best, see what happens. But that St. Seb's schedule every year was just one of them ones where you go in, try your best, do what you can do. Feel me?
Yeah. That team was definitely loaded. I was so shocked they lost in the championship game. That was one of the bigger upsets. But and also you guys did a lot of traveling, right?
Not for Nobles, no. We were.
You stay pretty local, but. When did the recruiting aspect start? When did you started getting the attention of scouts?
Yeah, that was started definitely my junior year, after the season that I had. I think my first ever college ever reaching out to me that I remember was basically my assistant coach. He told me that he's friends with a guy at Babson, and Babson was like, we like you. We're going to keep recruiting you throughout this spring season going into junior year. Right. But it really started once because I played for Boston Spartans my whole career, which is a great program. I have nothing but good to say about Boston Spartans. But again, like, unless you're a rare talent, most times you're not getting recruited freshman to sophomore year. Right. So I didn't hear much of recruitment freshman to sophomore year, not because of Boston Spartans, just the way the game goes.
Right.
But then my junior year, I decided to switch to Middlesex Magic, because I always had dreams of playing on a circuit. Right. And so once I saw the opportunity, like, I didn't want to give that up. So I tried out for Middlesex Magic. I made the UAA team, and then that's when my recruitment really started to blow up. I got hit up by a bunch of the D3s, a couple of D2s. I was at not a lot of talks D1s, but again, it's part of the game, not really.
Right.
So yeah, it started basically when after my junior year with Middlesex Magic, and we started traveling, going to a bunch of different places.
Yeah, I like that you talk about that, like the certain schools that hitting you up, because sometimes some younger players will have these egos, thinking like these schools, they're too good for these schools, but it's kind of almost like you just have to look at what your options are, and also when you're looking at them, you're also looking at what their academics is offering. As athletics, you want to go there for that, but you're also looking at the academics because people do think you could only go get a scholarship through basketball or playing sports and stuff like that. But then you don't, you look into it and you're just like, oh, these guys are going to let me go to school for free if I just maintain this certain GPA and take these certain classes, right? Was that kind of similar for you?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like every athlete has an aspiration to go D1, and I definitely was caught up in that. I need to go D1, I need to go D1. But, I mean, at some point, life's going to hit you, and it's like, you want to go D1, but it's like, if you are going to go D1, you're going to go. Right. So the fact I could sit back in my junior year, obviously not happy that the schools that I wanted to reach out are reaching out, but it's like, all right, they don't want me. That's a product of me. I'm not going to say I'm not good enough, but I might not be what they're looking for at the time. Right. Especially the way this basketball trajectory is going. It's like, I don't think many Division I schools want a 5'9", 5'10" scorer anyway. Right. So it's like, and even so, it's like maybe it just wasn't my time. You know, COVID years. We had people doing fifth years. It probably just was a crazy time recruiting. So maybe another time I would have went Division I. But I took that and I was like, all right, well, if that's not my case, I'm just gonna maximize. I'm gonna go where I can be the best version of myself. So it's like I could go D2, or I could go to a high academic D3 where a coach that really wants to play me is telling me that we would love to have you on our program. And I decided, I think it was my best decision, a place like Amherst College, great academics, and coach that I have a great relationship with, and that was ready to play me when I got there. Right.
Yeah, because what was the options though in selecting them? What was the final choices for you as far as school wise that you came down to before choosing Amherst?
Yeah, my final choices were Babson, Tufts, and Amherst. And so, I took my visit to Babson, great school, beautiful campus. I didn't think that was going to be the best place where I would have fit in. Tufts, another amazing campus. Tufts has a beautiful campus. I loved it there at Tufts. But again, you know, from the city, the money wasn't right. But Amherst, the biggest thing for me, Amherst, the coach, amazing. But the people on my visit were the biggest key for me, because I was like, if I'm going to be with my basketball team 24/7, like I have to like these dudes.
Right. We got connected.
And so on the visit, I met so many amazing people, amazing friends that I still talk to every day. And I was like, okay, granted, we go 0-24. I'm going to enjoy playing basketball with these dudes because I like them. So that's what drew me into Amherst.
Yeah. You get there, and then now the college. Now you got to adjust again, right?
Another
and it's also you got to prove yourself once again too, right? Once again, speed, speed of the game.
Man.
I know you probably laugh at this clip. I remember I seen the clip of thinking first game you didn't go all the way to the scorer's table.
No one told me. No one told me I had to go all the way to the middle of the scorer's table.
but being able to play early on, playing as a freshman, getting minutes off the bench, what did that do to your confidence, and how were you able to adjust to the college game?
Again, I think my freshman was a great learning experience. I started the season off on the bench, and then towards the end of the season I ended up starting, which I think a testament to kind of the work that I put in preseason going into that season. But I think one thing that I learned throughout that first year, it's like no matter what level you're at, if you can guard the ball, they will find minutes for you, no matter what. If you can keep your defender in front of you and impact the game outside of just what the score sheet says, they will find minutes for you. And so that's what I came in thinking. It's like, all right, again, I didn't think I was going to come in and score 20 points like I did in high school. So I was like, all right, I'm probably not going to come in and take 15 shots a game, but I know I can get a couple steals a game. So let me just go in, hone in on that, bring energy on that side, and then at that point, if you show a coach that you really are that motivated to guard, he probably not even gonna care what you do on the offensive side at the end. So that's really what my freshman year was like. I basically just came in, got the offense starting, and then defense, I just did everything I could, and then when offense came.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that too, because I try to tell these kids, I'm like, no, the best way to get on the court, especially when they got other guys that are scoring, you better be able to lock somebody up. If you play defense, you're gonna
always find.
You might not play the whole game, but they might need you in the fourth quarter or late in the game to come in. So that's kids play defense.
Go play defense, man. Get you on the court.
That entire freshman year overall, though. you move, like you're an example of always staying ready. Like as you said, freshman year in high school, you get in spot minutes, then the player gets hurt, you're starting. Now, middle of the season, you're starting in college, right? So how are you just able to just have that mindset of always staying ready? Because it seems like whenever you get the opportunities, you are able to seize it.
Yeah, I just think that definitely stems from just the competitiveness from my siblings, again, growing up. But I think I have also, as much as I love basketball and love getting better, I hate the idea of complacency because I genuinely believe, like, it's not about being better than the next man. It's about being better than yourself every day. So it's like every day I'm trying to be better than the person I was yesterday. So in terms of, like, staying ready, it's just never getting complacent of where I am. So it's like I could have came into college and been like, oh, like I'm playing a little bit, like this is great, you feel me? But like that's not good enough for me. Like I just came from a place where I was scoring 20 points a game and I'm going to be complacent about getting 10 minutes a game when we're blowing teams out. Like that's not enough for me. And I know I'm better than that. So I just have to show up for myself and do what I need to do to get back to where I know I can be.
Right. It seemed like it also seems like the coaching staff, they had full confidence in you from the jump. Was that just a result from what they saw at practice and from what they saw everything outside of the actual games?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them. But I mean, all I know is, I mean, I believe in controlling what you can control. So it's like coming to college, you know, coach might tell you might play, but it's not about his word. It's about what you show in practice. Because like he can tell you can play, and then you come and do nothing in practice, and you're on the bench. So I knew coming in, it's like, all right, I need to do what I can do. So every day in practice, I'm showing up, guarding the ball 94 feet. I'm talking on defense, just doing everything I can to show the coach, like, yo, like, if you do put me in the game, like, this is what I'm going to give you. Because that's all it is, at least at the college level. It's like, does your coach have confidence in you? So it's like, I was making sure my freshman year, I'm going to show him everything I can do in practice. So he knows if he does put me in the game, okay, this is what we're going to get from Mark. So.
Yeah, and you guys, so like the success of the team, like, you know, how were you guys able to grow these last couple of years since you got there?
Yeah, well, my freshman year, we were like near 500. It's been an interesting 2 years at Amherst because like we're almost good, but there's something. There's a hump that we can't get over. So freshman year, I think we finished 7th in our conference, and we won our first playoff game, and then we lost. I think in the quarterfinals against, I forget who we played. I think it was Williams. And so a year where we could have been good, but there was just things we couldn't get over as a team. And then we came back our sophomore year, and we battled with injuries since the first day of practice. So that was just a tough one. So another year we were almost good, but injuries, we don't know who's playing on this day if he's hurt. So another hump we couldn't get over. But going into this third year, I'm very confident in what we got cooking this year. So
it seems like the group you guys have what it takes, and now it just sounds like it's just like a little, there's something missing in the recipe, or it was a bad. You guys got to have some good fortune too on your way as to talking about injury wise. What would you say has been the game that kind of defined your moment, and you was like, I made a good decision in coming here?
The game that defined my moment. That's a great question. Like a certain moment where I was happy that I'm playing Amherst basketball.
Yes.
I think it was the first game I ever started. It was because again, tragic. Just like high school, it was like the day before we were about to play Tufts, who was like ranked nationally like 5th before, and just a tragic injury had my friend CJ Mitchell. I think he was like diving for a loose ball, and he got elbowed by one of our teammates. Completely accident, and he had to get stitches in his eyes. Oh man! And so he was like, all right, well, CJ's not playing tomorrow, and so I was like, all right, Mark, it's time for you to start. And I was like, okay. Against the 5th ranked Tufts team. I'm thinking like this is just basketball. But then going to the games like, all right, this is a little nerve wracking, but feel me? I ended up having a pretty all right game. I think I had like 6 points, but we ended up beating them. And so I was like, all right, well, if we just beat the 5th ranked team in the nation, like the sky's the limit of what we can do if we want to do that. So, and especially me leading the charge, I felt like it gave me a confidence boost. It's like, all right, I just led us as a point guard to beat the 5th, 6th team
Right.
ranked in the nation. So I was like, okay, I'm happy where I'm at. Like I see I can do this.
Right.
Yeah.
And they've been kind of consistently ranked.
They're really good.
Like even last year, I went to a game. They played WPI. It was one of those. Both of them were ranked nationally. So it was one of them D3 games. Like you probably should have. People should have been there. I was there for that one. It was pretty good. So a lot of good basketball in Division 3 though. A lot of because it's like sometimes the venues are small, but it kind of makes for a great atmosphere when you got like the student section right on top of you and stuff like that. Also, one thing I like about you guys in your age range, like you guys do a lot of things together as far as like workout. You play in a lot of tournaments and leagues together, right? And then now you're also seeing a lot of your peers are also doing good things in college. I mean, we talk about Ali. He's going to Salem State. We talk, you and Jason, you guys are really close. He's doing his thing. And then I'm talking about guys like Mason and all those other guys. Like they had great careers. Why do you think you guys, especially like your group, why do you think you guys have so much success? You guys have had so much success, in high school and in college too. And you're continuing that basketball journey with each other and supporting each other.
Yeah. That's a great question because I feel like I always think about it like I don't think about it always, but like I've definitely crossed my mind like how rare it is the group that we have, like so many successful basketball players all at once. Yeah. But I think that's just a testimony to like just being around each other and the competitive nature of always wanting to be better. Like, there's many times in my life I remember going to the YMCA because someone texted in the group chat like, oh, Ali's better than you, Mark. Yeah. He's like, no, he's not. And now everyone has to go to YMCA to watch this one-on-one happen. And like now we're doing that 5 times a week at the YMCA. So it's like just that competitive nature of battling each other. But it's like not only are we competing against each other, right after we play one-on-one, we're going to walk to Wendy's and go get some food. Right. So it's like that community, that companionship that we had as a kid. I think that sparks, that shows why we are where we are.
And then also too, when I see you guys playing in different leagues together, it's like when all you guys are on the same team, it's hard for a lot of teams to beat you guys because you guys have racked up a lot of wins in tournaments, right? And you guys are coming from playing. Y'all don't play team ball together. I'm talking about like school-wise. Yeah. Y'all mostly play pickup at the Y and stuff like that's the only time. But where does that chemistry come from when you guys are able to assemble and go out to these different tournaments across the state?
I think it just comes from it's all in at the end of the day. Like we're all one. Like we might battle against each other all day with each other, but we know like when we're going to let it fly in Chelsea, it's like all right, now it's us against them, and granted, we played against each other, but we played against and with each other for the last 4 or 5 years. Like, we know who we are, and they're not better than us in any other city we go to. So it's just about that being like it's us. Right.
Speaking of Let It Fly, that was the first time I seen you play in an organized game, right? And then, like you said, defense was the one that stuck out. That stuck out to me because you guys that run was a wild run too because you guys played against the Brockton team in the finals. But that was a really good showing of just like all around talent on that court from both teams because there were so many great players in that championship game. I think AJ was on that team, but he was like he was like 7th or 8th grade, and then Curtis Henderson, you guys were going back and forth. But your defense stood out to me in that game. Is that just one of those other aspects where you just like, I'm gonna just because this guy he's an all-state guard and stuff like that. Was that you just showing like you could guard anybody?
That and again, shout out to Coach Jimmy. Coach Jimmy he not going for nothing if it's not 100% effort. Right. So he'll tell you straight to your face. I don't even know if I can swear on this. I'm not going to swear.
You can if you want.
But he's like, he going to tell you to your face, like, yeah, you're playing like a bitch. Like, go guard the ball. Right. And if you don't, you get subbed out. So half of it is me wanting to show like I am good enough to play against these guys, but the other half is like I don't want to hear Coach Jimmy's mouth. I don't want to hear Coach Jimmy's mouth telling me I'm a bitch. So I'm gonna just guard the ball with my whole heart and see whatever happens.
He don't stop too.
Never.
The whole game, even before tip off, he's just on 10.
Man,
right before
off the rip. Right? I don't want to hear it, so I'm gonna just do what he said.
and Let It Fly is such a great thing, right? You guys were able to win that one, and then they were able to win it again last year. Seeing them, seeing that group win 2 out of 3, right? And it was like a proud moment for everybody too, because it was like those guys' last moments,
Yeah.
and that like high school wise, the twins that was Jason's last moment as well, right? And you was there to watch them. Like I was seeing them be able to do that last year.
Nah, it felt good. I always love seeing my brothers win, but just I mean, seeing them win, amazing. I like seeing the trajectory of Jason, the twins, how much better they've gone going into college. And again, just Coach Jimmy, it's like every year people never expect Coach Jimmy's team to win, like, because he might not have, obviously he has Jason and the twins, but everyone else, he doesn't have the 5-star recruit. Like Juice's crew's flying people out from Chicago and all these other crazy places, but like it just shows like you just want it more, and I feel like that's something Coach Jimmy instills in every team he coaches. It's like if you want it more than them, you will go get it.
Right.
And so seeing him do that again, it's like give him his flowers.
How much easier for you to deal with other coaches when you dealt with Jimmy for like a whole summer, right?
Not only Jimmy, but it's like I feel like I've dealt with all the extremes of every coach. So it's like coming from Spartans, like Joe Chapman, Auru, like
Joe Chapman, he was your coach.
He was my coach for a little bit.
That's like, another one.
Yeah, but you get a little bit of him. It's like okay, and Coach Auru, he did it sometimes, but it was like good cop, bad cop between the two.
Yeah.
So it's like Coach Auru would give you some a little bit, but not too much. But then I went to Coach Crotty, which is another one where he'll just tell you what it is right then and there.
Right.
Like I have a great memory of like, I think it was one time I came to the game and I probably did like, because UAA, like I had good games, but I had really bad games. And I think there was one time he was just like, yo, like, I can't put you in if you can't fucking dribble. And I was like, I can't even get mad at you for that because I can't dribble right now. Like, I really can't.
Right.
But it's like hearing that, like, just having coaches that'll tell you what it is straight to your face. It's like going to college, I was nothing when Coach Sears might tell me something. He'd tell me what it is. And it's like, I can't even get mad at you because you're right. You can't put me in because I can't shoot. I can't shoot right now. So it's like, I got to do something about that. You know?
You also be able. You also have the ability to have thick skin and be able to take it and not sit there and sulk because that's a lot. That's a lot. But one thing about most coaches, they know who can and who can't. Right? Was that kind of situation what you saw with those coaches?
Yeah, they knew. I mean, I've always been one to. I'm not a hard person to coach. Like I respect my coach when they tell me to do something, I do it. So it's like, and again, it's like. If I'm mad at a coach telling me I can't shoot and dribble, I'm the one who's not shooting and dribbling. So it's like, how can I really be mad at you?
Right.
So.
With a few more minutes left here, but seeing that you're in college right now, the landscape of college basketball, right? Yeah. It's just so wild where you just seeing everything. You see, you see guys, they're on this school. They're 1 year, they're in another school the next year, they're at a different school, and then you're seeing these NIL stuff with just so much going on with college basketball. What do you think is like, is there something that you see that's kind of messing up the game, or is there something that needs to be done to kind of keep more things more controlled and leveled? Because it seems like it's a free-for-all during the off season.
Yeah, no. It's a little crazy because like in the D3 realm, like we don't really get much of that. So like looking at it from like an outside point of view, I don't know. It is just kind of whatever school has the most amount of money to get the best players. So honestly, like it doesn't seem like the college basketball we grew up watching. Just like you pick the school you want to go to, you go there for 4 years, kill it, go to the league. So in this realm, I don't know, but I'm all for like again, a bunch of my brothers is in that realm, so it's go get paid. So in terms of fixing it, I don't know because I think that's the decision the higher ups and executives need to go. But in terms of what I would say, I don't know. But any of my brothers who are there right now, just make the most of it. Get as much paper as you can, go where you wanted, go where you loved, and try to make as much money as you can while you're there. It
just seems like it. You don't get familiar with the teams no more because it's like you're used to guys being able playing together for 1 or 2 years or maybe even 3 years, which is even 3 years that might be a little
aggressive
for those that are for those that we know they don't need to be there, right? But do you feel that kind of takes away from like that camaraderie you're supposed to build in college?
Definitely so,
because you're spending so much time with guys. And they pretty much become your family.
Yeah, definitely that. again, not being there, but I can assume like getting a new transfer every 3, 4, 5 transfers every year. Like some teams clear their whole roster and bring a whole new John every year.
You can talk to Jason.
Yeah, literally. So it's like that definitely takes away the camaraderie, and I feel like that's why a lot of times like you see like deep in March Madness, you see the older teams or teams that's been together the longest,
right,
be in those Elite Eights, Final Fours. So I don't know. I just feel like that's just the landscape of the game we're at now. So, I mean, there's no camaraderie anywhere, then I guess it's an even playing field. So
there's also an effect on the Division 2s and 3s because some of those guys are coming to Division 2, Division 3 schools just because some of them some of them they leave because they weren't they're not getting the playing time or they weren't the promises that they were told weren't fulfilled and stuff. So they just go somewhere where they could just play. Yeah, and that's still always the biggest thing. People want to play.
Yeah, and that happens a lot. There's so many tweets you can read about how many people enter the portal and how many of them never find a home. And then that gets the Division 1 guys get trickled down. Like the high majors go to mid major to low major D2, and just trickle down. Yeah. So
that also makes for good basketball though.
It does.
It does make for good basketball, but like as you said, the Division 3 aspect, the Division 3, there's a lot of great basketball in Division 3. I mean, there's a lot of great players too. Like we talk about Ralph from Peabody out there at UMass Boston. He's winning Little East Rookie of the Year, and he's poised to have another big season next year. So you kind of, hey man, just do what you want to do.
There's great Division 3 basketball.
As long as you're playing though, as long as you keep playing. As you said, you're moving in next weekend. Yeah. Next weekend. But year 3 coming up, as you said, man. And it's like year 3 coming up, and then it's like kind of like you're blinking, and your time in college is almost over, right?
Yeah.
The thing flies.
It goes by so quick. It's crazy.
It is wild. But before we get out of here, though, we was talking about off air. You know, I asked you about your sister playing and all the things that she did on the court, right? How many years were you there together at Nobles?
When I was in 8th grade, she was a senior.
She was a senior, right? I'm seeing her and what she was able to accomplish. Each level. How impactful was that?
Definitely impactful. I mean, it just gave me something to look up to every time I want to go to the gym and get a workout in. It's like, okay, my sister did this. Like, I'm gonna try my best to get there. Obviously, God has a plan. If I don't go play high major Division 1 basketball, whatever, but it's like I have someone to look up to in terms of what the path she's given me to follow, you know?
Right. And great to see. And then Phil also, he's still playing now.
Playing.
Playing pickup and playing. He plays in leagues and stuff too, right? You know, how is it just to see him keep going? Because he's at that point. He's like at that age where some people, they reach that age where they like, they want to play but they don't, or they just stop completely and just focus on other stuff. But he's still actively doing it.
My brother is definitely like one of the people I look up to in terms of work ethic. Like his work ethic is unmatched. Like he never has stopped working since I've been a child. Like I remember him waking up early to get to the gym early at St. Mary's. He got to call a janitor to let him in because the door's not open yet. But like he's been doing that his whole life. Like the work ethic in the Gerard family is definitely there. But he, from what I saw early on, because he's my oldest brother, I'm a younger brother, I'm a little up to my older brother, he definitely set the tone of working because he never has stopped to this day. He might be at the gym right now talking about it. So it's like he set the tone for sure.
Yeah, you're speaking of that, your pops too, your mom and dad. They be sometimes when I'm in the gym, especially early, your dad be there. He'd be there in the morning getting his lift, and your mom walks the track and stuff like that. So it's good to see. It's good to see, especially the parents in the gym just doing something. Cause, it's you gotta that 60 minutes of play is what they say. My man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. Appreciate this.
It was fun. I appreciate it.
Year three coming up for you at Amherst. Plug your social media if they want to follow you. Also plug if you got the school's basketball team social media, you can plug that into.
Yeah. At Gerard on Instagram. I think at Amherst men's b-ball. I don't really know, something like that.
All right,
but yeah,
we'll find it. We'll find it. And you guys got games close by this year in this area?
I don't know this year, but I think for my senior year, I think my coach was talking about maybe we might schedule Salem State. So if not this year, I'm close. I think my senior year, I'll definitely have a local game. So Yes, sir.
All right, man. You guys been watching Athletes Corner. We out of here, folks.
Yes, sir. See.